Okay, we're going to install the wheel widening kit. We're going to take the stock 93mm width, make her a little bit wider. That's what we're going to end up with. So we're going to take and start by dropping the bottom half on. You find yourself a nice alignment tool. Your skate spindle will work. So drop the bottom half on, drop your spacer on, and then the wheel, or the tire for that matter, we're going to take and install the spacer ring. Put a couple pumps of air here in the tube. It'll help hold the spacer ring in place. You drop this on, go valve stem up, and align it with the little cutout there. When you drop this in, you want to make sure that the ring captures the insides of these lips. It'll help center the ring up. Then we'll take the top side, get your cutout, line it up with the valve stem, and drop her down there. As you're putting it down and pushing it into the tire, be sure that the holes align up with each other between the top half and the bottom half, because we're going to drop our bolts in there next. So we got the bolts in here, and we're going to go ahead and just tap them home. Shouldn't take too much. There we go. Alright, next up we're going to take and we're going to tighten the bearings together. And this is going to bring the centers and align everything up for us. Before we tighten the outside, it helps align the bearings, and it helps it lets us know how much to tighten the 5 bolts on the outside. So you can see that with this snug down here on the bearing spacer, it doesn't spin real free. It doesn't spin real good, but that's okay, because you'll see here in a minute. Alright, we're going to run the nuts down. Okay, after you get the your nuts started on the bottom there, I like to grab these and just kind of run them down snug. The rattle gun, and then we'll do a hand tight and torque. Bring these up. This is already pulling the outside. You can see this thing starting to roll nice and easy already. Okay. So moving along to our hand torque. These have nylocks on the back side, so we just want to run them down nice and snug. We don't want to crank them down super tight, and we want to find that sweet spot with the bearing, where it takes the side load off the bearing so the bearing can do its job. And you want to tighten these down in a star pattern. And what I do is I skip every other one. There's 5 of them, so it'll come back around to the beginning. And just do a couple more just to make sure you got it right. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's get some air in this thing. So typically we like to run these things at 35 psi. Before I air these up, I'll take and move the tire around on here a little bit, kind of get it equaled out so you got an equal side showing on there. I've got an old shock tool from our sprint car and midget racing days that I like to use. Whatever it takes. So what you end up with is a nice profile on here. You're going to need a little bit wider spindle on your skate, your truck area. These come out to 2.5 or 2 inches on width from outside bearing to outside bearing. after the kit's installed. On our SRB axles, we have about 2 3/4 width on these things, but that's what you end up with, and it's makes a pretty nice little race wheel.